Hi there, my name is Jeff. Today we're going to talk about, that's right, characters that pop. Let's say you're on the telephone with some dude and you gotta meet him later in a restaurant. I don't know you. I don't know anything about you. What do you look like? Tell me what you look like, then maybe I'll get a mental picture in my head about who you are. All right, so you have brown hair, fair, got it, and medium height. You're of medium height, 5'10", awesome, and you have brown eyes. Great. No, not great at all. Not great. That describes a huge percentage of the male population of the United States, right? That's not a character that pops. That's not a description that pops. And yet, in so much of the student writing that I read, that's exactly the kind of physical description I get. Yeah, I said juicy. How about this? I'm gonna give you 3 juicy entry points for building a vivid character, a character that pops. 1. Concrete detail and description, specific concrete detail. 2. A description of what that character does when no one's looking. What does your character do when no one knows what they're up to? And 3. What does your character do when under extreme pressure? Because true character is revealed under pressure. When you're coming up with a character, think of 1 or 2 specific outward items that show the way in which this person advertises themselves to the world. John wore giant nerd frames to show how smart he was. Elise only wore black satin to show how rich she was. Rick wore face paint to prove he was a Viking. Specific detail doesn't just have to be about what somebody wears, though. It can be about what somebody loves, their tastes. Ronnie was the type of guy who only ate pizza. Sherry's truck was big enough to run over a station wagon. Renee loved the world so she spent all her money on a Prius. Natalie stopped eating anything but vegetables. A weird item of clothing, an interesting car, something interesting a person likes to eat. It's all superficial, but that kind of interesting thing makes a picture in a reader's mind, makes that reader begin to see who this character is. But it's superficial. In order to really build a character that pops, you gotta start moving into the headspace. That's where the interest lies. Here's one way in. This guy, what he does when no one's looking, he steals bananas from old people, just for kicks. What a jerk, huh? Really, we can learn so much about a character. We can make a character pop by figuring out what they do when no one is around, because that's a more accurate representation of their psychology, right? Do they steal bananas? That's something. Even if they act nice to people, they steal bananas when they're alone. Do they do what I do, which is make paper snowflakes? Do they kill cats? So imagining what your characters do when no one is looking, describing in your stories what a character does when no one is looking, that's a great, popping, excellent way to reveal character. But in some ways it's still superficial. Because true character is revealed under pressure. What if our banana thief, this guy right here, what if he left the old lady's house with that banana and went out on the street, but he saw this truck coming down the street and the old lady was crossing, the same old lady, and he had to throw the banana down and jump out the way to save her life? I think we'd have a very different opinion of our banana thieving boy. weird clothes, fancy cars, weird food habits. We understand a character on one level from that. Doing strange things when no one is looking, well, we understand a character on another level because of that. But when a character is under pressure and they make the choice either to do right or do wrong, then we really know who they are. And I'll tell you what, our banana thief, he's a good boy. I mean, he's got problems, but he's not killing cats or anything, right? So, weird superficial stuff. What people do when no one's looking, and how a character reacts when they're under pressure. Do that, and your characters will pop. We'll talk more about this in a few seconds. Bye-bye, and hello.